Okay, hello there everyone, welcome in, and welcome to Hull City versus Norwich City, live at Carrow Road, a ground where Hull City haven't had the best of fortunes in 15 years, we'll say, because that's how long it has been. So, let me just quickly chuck out our poll. What is your prediction? And we will put Norwich City win, a draw, or a Hull City win. So put that in the chat. As usual, it'll be open until we reach half time, so let me know your votes on that one in the chat there. Welcome in everyone. We will quickly rack through the team sheets. Some interesting news surrounding Hull City in this one. Of course, we know the fact of our injuries at the moment, but some interesting stuff, especially on the bench in this one for Hull City. So let's go straight into lineups. We'll start off with Norwich City, of course, the host side, the side that haven't won in the past 8, have lost 5 straight. So Kovacic in goal for them. Back 3, it was back 5 with the wing backs for them. So their back lineup is Fisher as the right wing back, Duffy, Darling, and McConville in that sort of central defenders malarkey. And then Schlupp is as the left wing back. Ahead of that, Mattison and McLean in the midfield. And leading the line for them is Makama, Sargent, and Schwateru. I probably butchered some of them ones. I'm very sorry. Moving on to Hull City now. In goal, of course, it's Ivor Panda. There's only 2 changes, actually, to this Hull City side, as the back lineup is gone to a back 4, this one. Of course, we had the back 5 for the Charlton game, but we've gone back to the back 4, which I kind of prefer at the moment. Giles, of course, at left back. Charlie Hughes and John Egan in the central defence. Over at right back, it's a returning Louis Coyle to the starting lineup. Of course, he came off the bench last time out for the Tigers. Ahead of them, it's Regan Slater, Amir Hazay, Mitrovic, Matt Crooks, of course, with the torn pectoral muscle, Joel and Darla out on the left, Kyle Joseph out on the right, and up top it's Joe Geldhart. And that does mean it's Joel and Darla's first time starting for Hull City in over 2 months. His last time starting was actually in the 45-minute appearance starting the game in, of course, that horrendous Bristol City loss that we suffered at the back end of August. So, some good stuff there. I'm feeling confident. I think we'll win 2-0. I've gone for my 2-0 prediction as well there, Polska. Hopefully we are coming away with the win. Hello, my Hull City friend. Hello there, my Bradford City friend. How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a lovely Saturday. I would say it's a lovely sunny Saturday. It's a bit sunny, but I'm looking out my window now. It's a bit grey. So let's hope that doesn't cast over onto the game. It's seeming, as far as things look, it's blue skies with clouds in Norwich, but nothing too miserable as things stand. Of course, Hull City don't have the best of record at Carrow Road. Winless, as I said, since 2010. Over 15 years since Hull City's last win at Carrow Road. So let's quickly rack through the bench, as there's an interesting player on the bench for Hull City, which I believe, I'm almost certain it's his first time on the bench for the Tigers in a senior capacity. So, the bench lineups with Dylan Phillips, of course, as the goalkeeper. Semio Jai drops to the bench. David Akintola returns to the bench. Cody Drama drops to the bench as well. Darko Gyabi's there as well. Ennis Destan, Pharrell Brown, and Calvin Okiki, another academy lad, first-year scholar, who is actually registered to the under-18s. He's played quite a few times for the under-21s this season. He's a left wing-back, central defender, can play a little bit all over that back line. Left-footed defender, we'll say. So I think he's come in as the Akinfenwa replacement for this game. Of course, Akinfenwa not in the squad due to a hamstring injury that he picked up during this past week. And, of course, to complete the bench, Cathal McCarthy. Good. Bradford have Cheltenham in the FA Cup at 3. Should beat them, but this is Bradford City. I'm talking about anything can happen. Anything can happen with anyone. I mean, Hull City are currently going to be taking on second from bottom in the Championship as Norwich City, who, as I say, winless in the last 8, lost 5 on the bounce, but Hull City have a very horrible track record against Norwich City, and they are winless at Carrow Road since 2010. So we'll see how things shake out in this one. Of course, as always, to bring us that bit of luck, we have our Hull City glass mug thing. So we'll have our sip now to bring us some good fortunes and some good luck into this one, as I'll talk through a little bit what we can expect into this one. There we are. Sip of good luck. So hopefully we're all having a lovely Saturday, as kickoff is about 5 minutes away for us now. There is a possibility of a protest in this one, a tennis ball protest from the Norwich City fans, unhappy with their new American ownership party that have come on board and looking to change things around a little bit. But it's not 100% sure if that's going to actually happen now, as he did come out and do a little bit of an interview with the local radio over in Norwich, which seemingly has sort of steered things back on the right track for the relationship between the fans and the club. But we'll wait and see. There is a possibility that that could happen. So whether Hull City can actually take advantage of that and maybe grab a goal, silence the crowds, and then use that sort of protest from the fans to get away from the Norwich City players and actually produce something off the back of it. We'll wait and see. I think there's about 750 or so travelling Tigers gone to this one. Of course, one of the most difficult away games to get to for a Hull City fan. Pardon me. Getting all the way to Norwich. It's a tricky one to get to. Iconically nicknamed the longest away day for Hull City, because you can't really go directly there. You got to kind of go via Timbuktu to get to Carrow Road, whereas everywhere else pretty much go straight there. So the longest away day for Hull City. That's not actually the longest away day, but it feels like it, and that is 750 strong or so. We've heard travelling down to Carrow Road. So let's hope for a good one this afternoon. Of course, 12:30 kickoff. It's on Sky Sports Plus, part of the new deal, which means a lot of the Championship games are getting more TV time. Whether that's for the good, whether that's for the bad, I'll let you decide. I think I've made my standpoint on it pretty clear. Hopefully we play you lot next season. We're second in the league. Oh, who knows? We might be going up. I mean, it's far too early to look at the table, but who knows what the future holds. Currently, Hull City sitting in 8th, I believe, if I just have a quick look at the table. Table. I believe we are sitting in 8th. We are. A win today could send us up into the playoffs, probably for a short time that being. We would knock Charlton out of the 6th place and move into 6th in the playoff places. Of course, if we score over 5 goals in this one, we would move up to 5th, taking over Stoke City. But then, of course, matches do come later on today. Of course, last night, Wrexham had a shocking win, a 3-2 win with a hat-trick from Kiefer Moore at home against Coventry City. It's a fantastic one in that, and I think that is Coventry's first loss of the season. So, interesting one, that one. Other 12:30 kickoffs today, of course, we've got Norwich Hull. Leicester City are at home against Blackburn Rovers, and West Brom are at home against Sheffield Wednesday. And that then every other fixture will take place at 3 o'clock today in the Championship. So it looks like things are ready to get underway as the teams are ready to walk out of the tunnel. Hull City are in their 3rd kit for what I believe is the first time this season. The blue away strip that kind of looks like a Wetherspoons dinner plate. But let's hope it brings some good fortune in this one. As Louis Carroll leads out the Hull City players, of course wearing the captain's armband, ready for this one. And on the other side, Norwich City, of course, in their iconic yellow and green kit, their home kit for this one. Of course, why would they be playing in anything else? But their home form hasn't been the best. I mean, their form hasn't been the best anyway. Wrexham come back yesterday. Don't know how they did it. Certainly, I don't know. But A Wrexham comeback can happen to anyone. Let's not forget what happened in the Carabao Cup for Hull City in that chaotic game. But we'll forget about that and we'll turn our attention to trying to right the wrongs and trying to break the curse of Carrow Road as Hull City look to try and grab their first win away at Norwich in over 15 years. And of course, we've had some horrendous results in previous times. A 4-0 loss last season to Norwich City. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. We don't actually kickstart Norwich's season. But it is in Hull City's form to do that, isn't it? We all know Hull City, they struggle against the sides that are struggling. So we'll see what happens in this one. Of course, I think this is probably the best lineup that Hull City could put out for this one, considering all of the injuries. Of course, no Ollie McBurney, no Liam Miller. Of course, that's sort of good news in that aspect that Miller's only out for 4 weeks, as I talked about in the prediction video yesterday. Of course, no Mohamed Baloumi still, no Elliot Matazo and players like that. So, will be interesting to see what happens in this one. Of course, as I said, player to watch out for in this game, going to be Josh Sargent. There is really a slim pickings in the squad, but Josh Sargent, 6 goal involvements so far this season for Norwich City, 5 goals, 1 assist. He's nearly scored half of the goals for Norwich City this season. They've scored 12, he's scored 5, so certainly that's going to be the man to watch out for. And let's hope Hull City can return in a similar aspect. Of course, an informed Joe Geltart is seeming to be leading the line. I've got it down on my side monitor here, and they've also got it down on Sky Sports that it will be Joe Geltart to be up top for the Tigers. It could have possibly been Kyle Joseph, which we have seen that happen in the past few games where we've been without Ollie McBurney. But it's seeming like it might be Joe Geltart up top. We won't really see until the game does kick underway, which will just take a little brief absence because the slides are switching ends. Hull City will be on the right-hand side of my screen, I believe, attacking to the left. And, of course, Norwich on the vice versa. It's seeming like there may be a moment of something. I'm not sure if the players are lining up in the semicircle or the Norwich City players were doing a little team talk. But I think things are all ready to get underway as soon as possible, as Hull City look to break the curse, as I say, down at Carrow Road. So, of course, let me know your predictions in the chat. Of course, we have the poll going, so let me know if you think Hull City will actually come away with the win for the first time in 15 years, whether you think that it will be a kickstart back to the season for Norwich City, or whether you think things will end in a stalemate. Of course, as I say, always come away with some sort of points when you go on the road. A draw is good, a win is ecstatic. And Hull City kick underway, and oh! That was a very unique turn of events. I don't think I've seen Hull City do that kickoff before. It was Joe Geltart stood over the ball in the centre circle, and Kyle Joseph just came running on. And I believe it was Kyle Joseph, who just took a really sure-footed effort. No, it was John Egan. John Egan took the effort right from kickoff, and I mean, it only was over by the bar by a couple of, maybe a metre or so, so not that far off being a shot on target to kickstart the game in the first second. If that's how Hull City are going to play this one in a very attacking mindset, I'm all up for it. A very unique kickoff style, that one. Straight from kickoff, taking the shot on goal. And Hull City are breaking way down this right-hand side. It's Louis Carroll shaping it into the box just behind Joel Lindala. So Norwich do clear, only as far as Kyle Joseph. Joseph to Amir, over towards Louis Carroll. Louis Carroll up this right-hand side now. Cutting it back. And back even further. And it's now going to end up back with Egan. Of course, Egan, that early shot in this one. Hughes and Egan play a little 1-2 as they send it back towards Ivo Panda. Panda in the sun at the moment, of course, as the 12:30 blaze kicks down on Carrow Road. Meanwhile, Norwich's keeper is in the shade. Maybe that was what the change of sides was for in this one. And a little collision there. Nothing too serious. As A free kick is there given for Hull City inside of their own half, over on the far hand touchline, just in front of Sergei Kirovic's technical area. As the free kick will be taken short back towards John Egan. John Egan was the man who was fouled in this one. Plays it over towards Amir. Amir Hazarmetrovic, of course, took a little knock to the head last week. Missed a training session earlier on this week, but it was announced yesterday that he would be fit, ready to go back into this one. And I've been pleasantly surprised with how Amir Hazarmetrovic has adapted himself to the English game. Of course, a frequent man in the Turkish divisions, has yet to play, or before he signed for Hull City, was yet to play for an English club. But he has adapted quite well in his 10 games or so that he has played for the Tigers. Has been a pretty key feature, especially with no John Lundstrom at the moment, considering he's out injured for a bit of time. And of course, no Elliot Matazo, who will be looking to try and get back into the squad moving in towards December and the new year. I've got all the Hull scores right every time, so you're saying easy 3-0. Let's hope it is a 3-0 win for the Tigers in this one. As Ivo Panda sends it out wide to Louis Coyle, who just gets in a little bit of a header battle. It does go out of play, which I believe results in a Hull City throw-in over on that far-hand touchline. Pretty similar place to where Louis Coyle took a free kick a few moments ago. A little side note on Calvin Okiki on the bench for Hull City. Of course, the first-year scholar who is going to be on the bench for the first time in a senior capacity for Hull City. Played a few times for the 21s. It's sounding like he's got a pretty nasty long throw on him, so could be one to watch out for if he does feature into this one. He has actually contributed with a goal through that long throw for the under-21s recently. It was a long throw which I believe took a deflection off the opposition defender and went in, so classed as an own goal, but of course all coming from a dangerous long throw. So certainly that will be one to watch if he does get featured into this one. Of course, on the bench, most likely as the replacement for Akin Famewo. Norwich City are forward now. Josh Sargent marching through. Ivo Panda does well to block it, and so does John Egan. So Josh Sargent isn't able to break through and grab a goal. It's still here for Norwich City, and oh! That should have been Josh Sargent again. Number 24, Makama, plays a sweaty ball into the box. He breaks down to the byline, plays it into the box. Josh Sargent's all day. He gets the touch. Open net pretty much as Ivo Panda's still stuck at the front post. And he just puts it squarely behind the net. That should have been Norwich City 1-0 there. Couple of chances for Josh Sargent and he fluffs both times. As I say, one to watch out for, Josh Sargent. Oh dear. Hello, Offcore. How are we doing, my friend? Hope you're having a lovely Saturday. Hopefully a Hull City win will help you there. I call you back Bradford. What do you think the Bradford City score will be? Who do you say you was playing? Was it Cheltenham? I'll go for a 2-1 Bradford win. We'll keep things all happy and pleasant here in the live chat. Louis Cole currently got a throw in, just rubbing the ball underneath his shirt. Doubt it is too wet down there in Norwich. It looks like quite a sunny early afternoon down at Carrow Road. Oh, a dodgy ball placed back from the defender for their keeper who's had to make a run for it. Wasn't really any challenge on by Hull City in that capacity. Amir Hazarmetrovic gets a little touch on the ball forward, so Hull City are able to get a little bit of a counter-attack going. Norwich City do well to defend it for the meantime and do clear it forward towards Josh Sargent, held off by John Egan, and so Amir Hazarmetrovic comes in once again to command the ball in midfield, lays it out towards Louis Coyle. Louis Coyle chips over the top towards Kyle Joseph, heads it back to Regan Slater. His chip shot towards the keeper is going to be held onto as Kyle Joseph was offside on that chipped ball forward there from Louis Coyle. But a little bit of nice set of play there from Hull City. Seeming like they can actually break past this Norwich City back five in some sort of a relative ease if they do put some successful passes and successful runs together. By the looks of things there, it's not going to take an awful lot to break through and actually get the chances here for Hull City. Hull City who have only failed to score in 2 matches so far this season. Of course, one of them being that opening day 0-0 draw away at Coventry City. Of course, Coventry City currently leading the championship. As I said, lost their first game last night to Wrexham over away down in Wales. But Hull City are looking to try and get an away win for themselves here. Ivor Panda lays it over towards Charlie Hughes. McCammah looking like he's maybe trying to apply the pressure, not really going into it in full force. So it's allowing Ivor Panda to hold on to the ball for a little bit before he lays it over towards John Egan. Egan looking to go down the line towards Kyle Joseph. Louis Cole heads it back. He'll do so again, trying to land at the feet of Kyle Joseph, and his touch there just sends it out of play. So it'll be Norwich City's first throw-in, I believe, of the game. Over in front of the 4th official. Sergei Kirvich and the Hull City bench currently commanding a little bit of faster, a bit more aggression here from Hull City. As we're currently moving into the 8th minute of this one. And Norwich City having the best chance of the game, of course, with them double Josh Sargent bluffs in the early stages here. If you're not going to actually count Hull City's John Egan shot to be a quality chance from the halfway line on kickoff. It's certainly somewhat unique, as Hull City have pretty much followed the same kickoff routine every time. But that time being an exception. So currently going underway now for Norwich City, trying to break down this right-hand side with McCammah. Doesn't quite do so as it breaks away just in front of him. And so Ryan Giles will have a throw-in. As Charlie Hughes just gets a little round of applause from the travelling Hull City fans that are away in that corner. And Ryan Giles now to get things thrown back into place here for Hull City. Giles, who's having a fantastic season for Hull City compared to his previous few seasons in the Championship. And he plays it over towards Matt Crooks. Crooks towards Coyle, back towards the tree for City. Looking to play a bit forwards. Ami through to Coyle. Nice little bit of passing play here. Crooks helps it on towards forwards for Hull City. And once again, Kyle Joseph is offside. Nice little bit of play there from City, though. Crooks helping them shape the ball through the midfield, using Coyle, using Geldhart to get the ball going forwards. Just a shame that Kyle Joseph once again was offside. There's no real need for Kyle Joseph to be offside. He just needs to watch his line a little bit. He has got the pace. He can break away from defenders in a chance. So just needs to watch how he places himself on the opposition lines a little bit and watch how he makes his runs. Ball just skips past Joel Ndala there, and so be out for a Norwich City throw-in. Quite nice to see Joel Ndala back into the Hull City starting lineup, of course, for the first time since the 30th of September. That horrific 4-2 loss to Bristol City. And hopefully he can produce something in this one. He was on quite a good run of form, Joel Ndala, before he went down with his injury that he suffered away in that game against Bristol City, where he only played 45 minutes. But started nonetheless. Simon Walker going for a 3-0 Hull City win as well. Looks like we've got quite a few 3-0 Tiger wins here. If it is a 3-0 Tigers win, we know what that means. Mauled by the Tigers would be coming out at full time. So hold on to your hats for that one. Norwich City currently in possession though. Passing the ball between their sort of wing-backs and their 3 centre-halves in this one. Very interesting for Norwich City to go into a back 5 in what is relatively a must-win game for them. Lost 5 on the bounce, winless in 8, as Ryan Giles just stares that dangerous ball into the box behind for a Norwich City corner. So first corner of the game goes Norwich City's way, as the ball breaks away, using that back 5 in essence for Norwich City. Left wing-back shapes one into the box. It meets the feet of Ryan Giles before anyone else in the yellow Canaries outfit. So Norwich City looking to maybe go short with this corner. They've got 2 people stood over the corner. Very interestingly enough. Things will just pause and take place. I think the ref's having a word with someone in the box. As it's maybe the tussle between McCammah and Kyle Joseph just in front of Ivor Panda. Ball whipped in very, very deep. All the way back. And that's going to be headed out of play by Duffy for Norwich City. So Ivor Panda will have himself a goal kick here. Moving into the 12th minute. It's a very deep corner. Pretty much no contest there for Hull City in a defensive attribute, as Shane Duffy heads that one behind for Norwich City. Of course, Shane Duffy, experienced defender. But, I mean, he did the best what he could do with that horrific corner played in by Norwich City. Norwich City looking for the pressure there, applying it onto Ivor Panda. So he has to go quickly forward to look for a Joel Indala. Bounce away from him, and so Norwich City are back in possession with this one. Hull City really looking to try and apply the front foot here on this one. Josh Sargent marching forwards now for Norwich City. Plays it over to the left-hand side. Norwich City looking for a dangerous ball into the box once again. And that takes a deflection off Louis Coyle and goes behind. So Norwich City have themselves second corner in the space of about 2 minutes. This side on the opposite way. Off the back of that Louis Coyle deflection from Schlupp. Of course, Schlupp currently playing as a left wing back for Norwich City in this one. He has been a little bit dangerous in these couple of chances that Norwich City have had going forwards. Now this corner driven in, a bit more of a driven effort. Shane Duffy meets his head again. This time his header is on target, which forces Ivor Panda to make a diving save. Unfortunate for Norwich City, that one didn't have enough power to really trouble Ivor Panda. And that was more of a training ground save in essence for the Croatian shot stopper. But Norwich City do have themselves another corner here. Back on the opposite side. Once again, 2 players standing over it. Joseph down on the deck, so it's looking like there is a bit of a tussle ongoing between McCammer and Kyle Joseph. Ref's just calling them both over to sort of lay down the ground rules. We'll see how that one develops in this one between Kyle Joseph and McCammer. A little bit of a tussle in pretty much every corner now. These 3 corners that we have seen so far in this game. So let's see how that battle shapes up as they go back into facing off against each other. Right in front of Ivor Panda again. Corner deep. I think it's nearly met Shane Duffy's head again, but this time it sails all the way behind and goes for a Hull City goal kick. Norwich City really aren't putting in any good corners from the near-hand touch line. Apologies, it didn't meet... and it didn't nearly meet Shane Duffy. It was McConville, that one. Another one of the centre-halves. The 3 centre-halves in this one for Norwich City. Sort of skimmed past his head. And that helps it go out for the goal kick. Ivor Panda takes this one long. Headed on by Kyle Joseph. Running down the right-hand side seems to be Joe Geltart. He's going to keep his run going as the ball's played back towards Norwich City's goalkeeper. McConville looking to go forwards with this one, but it's blocked there by Joel Indala. And so now it will be McConville, I believe, to take the throw in here for Norwich City. And he's going to look to play it down the line. Forward towards Josh Sargent. McCammer just bounces it past him. And so ball played all the way over to the opposite side where Schlupp will race onto it. Lays one past Louis Coyle. And charging forwards now is McLean for Norwich. Cleared by Coyle and Egan. Only as far as the Norwich defence, though, as Kyle Joseph can't get that one past them. And so now charging forwards is Maatson for Norwich City. Schlupp once again in the battle with Louis Coyle. He somehow gets past Louis Coyle there. Louis Coyle kind of went down to the decks on all fours, and I think the ball slipped underneath him as Schlupp bounced over Louis Coyle in that one. It was a little bit of a James Bond-esque effort, that. We'll just see the replay. Louis Coyle goes down, the ball gets past him, and it forces Schlupp to actually jump over him, a bit like a hurdle. And so now it is a corner kick here once again for Norwich City on their favoured corner kick side. Looks like the battle between Kyle Joseph and McCammer continues on the goal line. Ball whipped in. Headed by Shane Duffy once again. Cleared away by Hull City. Only goes as far as Norwich City goalkeeper. He'll play a little 1-2 there. And look to try and get the things going quickly for Norwich City. They've applied a lot of bodies forward still. Joel Indala nods it back towards Ryan Giles. Giles looks up. Plays one over the top cross field looking for the run of Joe Geldhart. Headed away by Norwich. And that will bounce past everyone and go out for a Hull City throw-in. McCammell looks like he could be a little bit of a feisty one in this one if he's not getting his way. A bit of a Jay Stansfield in attitude essence. And we know how that one shaped out in that Birmingham City game. So we'll wait and see on how things shape out here. Ryan Giles throws in though to Amir Hazaimetrovic. Back to Giles on the touchline. And lays it back into the field now towards Matt Crooks. Crooks over towards Kyle, who's got space down this right-hand side. He'll have to play it back now towards Crooks. Crooks back to Kyle. Kyle to over to Amir. Amir to Kyle. And Kyle play all the way back now towards John Egan. Egan, who's got Hughes and Panda near him. He'll instead opt to go towards Amir Hazaimetrovic. Now with Charlie Hughes. Hughes to Crooks. As Crooks' pass towards Amir takes a deflection off Josh Sargent. And now Norwich City will try and get something going forwards. A little bit of a tussle there and things now going backwards for Norwich City. Currently with their back five, back three, however you want to call it. Deflection there by Kyle. But Norwich City still have the possession. Over now with McConville. McConville over towards Duffy. Duffy looks to shape one forwards now. Headed down into the path of Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent trying to cut back. Just snuffed out by Hull City. And Joe Lindala with a brilliant run back saves that one. He stumbles down to his feet but still trying to scramble this. Josh Sargent does come away with the ball. It's still now with Norwich City into the attack. McLean, or however you want to say his name, McLean, I'm going to go with, is still on the ball here. Goes down to the decks. Referee plays a free kick there. So Norwich City in a little bit of scrambly effort to try and keep possession of the ball and keep something going forwards. Use McLean's foul there to grab themselves the free kick. McLean wearing the captain's armband for Norwich City with this one. He's going to stand over it. Someone else is coming over in support, but I'm thinking it's going to be McLean to take. There's another man who comes over in support, and that being Fisher. So we'll see who is actually going to take this one. Well, I don't know what Norwich's standpoint on this is, but every set piece that they've got, corner, free kick, they like to have two men standing over it. Surely if they put another player in the box, it's better. Oh, and the tennis balls are coming raining down on the field now. There's a few on the field, as the referee has just had to pause the game for a temporary bit as the tennis balls are cleared away in a very slow manner by the ball boys. Their goalkeeper actually coming out to help get rid of the tennis balls in a bit of a quicker fashion. There's not too many tennis balls laid down onto the field here at Carrow Road. As I said, presumably there would have been more if it wasn't for the interview that was made on local radio. That free kick was absolutely horrendous, and Shane Duffy manages to keep it just in play, but his scoop, I think it actually went out of play. His scooping effort backwards wasn't enough, but that was absolutely a horrendous free kick there from Norwich City. They really are bad at set pieces, aren't they? They're standing two people over every set piece, and they are absolutely horrendous. So Charlie Hughes plays it over towards Ivo Panda with the goal kick. Over towards Egan. Crooks now on the ball. Norwich still applying a bit of pressure, so Hull City playing a few quick passes along their back line. Egan down the line looking for a Kyle Joseph. That's going to bounce over him and get played out of play. So Louis Cole have himself a throw in here. Just in front of the Hull City technical area, where a few orders are getting shouted by Dean Holden. Now ball with Amir Hazaimetrovic. Over towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes looking for a few passing opportunities. Norwich are doing well at blocking Hull City's passing lanes. I do have to note that. If you're going to call anything positive from this Norwich City side, that's something positive I have seen in their game so far here. Of course, things do remain a stalemate so far. 21 minutes into this one at Carrow Road. How are we all feeling? 3-1 correct score. That's what you're going for. 2-0. 1-0 to us. Hull goal in the 72nd minute. I mean, wins galore. I'm loving to see it. As I say, a win and a clean sheet is the best case scenario for Hull City. A draw is all good and good and proper. And a loss, well, you really are looking at yourselves. Yes, we do know the curse of Carrow Road. But it is a very struggling Norwich City side at the end of the day. A brilliant sliding challenge there from John Egan to stop Norwich City getting away through on the counter-attack. They still have the ball now, though, Norwich City, off the back of that sliding challenge. Over the top, past the head of Joe Gelhardt, sorry. Laid into the box now. Shooting effort far away off target. And the audacity for Norwich City players to call that one a corner kick is quite hilarious. As the longish ranged effort from Mattison, well, that one went wide. And pretty much every Norwich City player's hands went up claiming for a corner kick on that one, which is, you can't help but laugh at it, can you? Ivo Panda goes long off the back of this goal kick. Headed away by Norwich City. And only down towards the feet of Louis Coyle. Louis Coyle charging forwards now. In towards Joe Gelhardt. Joe Geldhardt's just got his back snapped up. And so a free kick here for City. Just inside of the Norwich City half. Over in front of the Norwich technical area. Just taken down there by Schlupp, who's been a bit of a problem child down on the left-hand side. Amir Hazaimetrovic in the midfield. Moving forwards, lays over towards Joe Gelhardt, who's out on the right wing now. In box, Regan Slater, Kyle Joseph, Joel Ndala shoots! Blocked there by Norwich City, not Coventry City. Here now still with Hull City. Louis Coyle towards Joe Gelhardt from range, shoots! And that one's far over the bar there from range from Joe Gelhardt. Do not mind it whatsoever. Really the best bit of attacking play for Hull City, that one being Joe Gelhardt getting the ball, taking it on the turn. Couple of touches, breaks away from his man, shoots, but that one's not going to trouble anyone in a Canaries kit. But certainly a good chance there for Hull City. A few good chances in quick succession, not really relenting up. That's kind of what we want to see in this one from Hull City. Especially against this Norwich City side who I say, winless in 8 and have lost the past 5 successive. As Hull City maybe looking to try and get the ball forwards now. Louis Coyle towards Matt Crooks. Crooks over towards Gelhardt. Gelhardt looking to try and make it 4 games in a row with a goal for himself. All 3 of his goals in the past 3 games have been important ones. 2 of them being winning goals. And of course last time out that his goal being the draw conceder goal. Or it was actually going to be the winning goal up until the 91st minute when Charlton Athletic scored their equaliser. But Hull City, undefeated in the past 5. Trying to make it 6 here at Carrow Road. 25 minutes in. Ball just getting passed around between the Hull City defence and the midfield that have come back to try and help the ball shape forwards. Louis Coyle back towards Egan now. John Egan. Forward towards Louis Coyle down this right-hand side. Louis Coyle trying to chipper it over his man. Norwich City will get things going forward towards Josh Sargent. Slater does well to play it back towards Egan. He'll play it back towards Ivo Panda, who has to clear it on the volley. He does so, but only as far as a couple of Norwich City players going forwards. McCammer into the box now. Touched there by Ryan Giles. Will send it back towards Ivo Panda, who picks it up and will get things going from his hands here. Good wherewithal there from Ryan Giles, who his defensive attributes this season have definitely picked up. Not known for his defensive capabilities, but certainly they have picked up this season. And there he stopped a chance from McCammer, trying to break things open for Norwich City in this one. Ball currently with Ivo Panda. Hull win, hopefully it is. Another 3-0 win prediction. Good. Go Hull. Greetings from Colombia. Hello there, Colombian fans. How are we doing? Hopefully we're here ready for a Hull City win in this one. As 26 minutes into this game, ball inside of the Norwich City half. Hull City unable to really regain possession. And so Norwich City will break away on a bit of a counter-attack. Still got players back here for City. But Norwich City with Schlupp breaking away into the box. Blocked away by John Egan. Charging over is Kyle Joseph in towards Amir. Back now with Joseph trying to break away down that line. Back in play. Headed around a bit of header tennis. Falls down to the chest of Kyle Joseph, sorry. Matt Crooks now over towards Joe Geltart. Geltart just taken down there, a bit of a reckless challenge. And there could possibly be a little bit of something here for Schlupp, as that's his second foul in a couple of minutes here on Hull City players. Joe Geltart just snapped up there. No chance at the ball there from Schlupp, as he just cleans out the Leeds loanee's feet. So it is going to be a yellow card here for the left wing back for Norwich. Schlupp gets the first card of the game. Surprisingly enough, first card of the game doesn't go Hull City's way. Score is currently 0-0 on the bottom of the screen. Score on the screen. I do update as the goals come in. Currently on 0-0 in this one. 27 minutes in. But hopefully it will end up with more goals in Hull City's way rather than in Norwich City's way when all things are said and done at full time. Joe Geltart just limping away a little bit, but I'm sure that he'll be fine to continue with this one. As John Egan plays it back towards Ivo Panda. He'll play it now back towards Egan, and he's going to play it once again back towards Ivo Panda. Panda looks to go forwards with a long-range shot from this one. He meets the head of Kyle Joseph, goes up in the air. Joseph just loses it, and so Norwich City will regain possession here. McConville play it back towards their keeper, back towards McConville. Indala coming forwards, plays it forwards, and it's now with Hull City as Regan Slater picks up the possession here for Hull City. It's back now with Charlie Hughes. The number 4 vice captain for Hull City plays it over towards his centre-half partnership of John Egan. Of course, Semi Ajayi dropped to the bench in this one, so that is another very strong defensive option there for Hull City on the bench in this one. A few good defending opportunities on the bench if Hull City were able to gain maybe a couple of goal lead moving in towards the second half and going into the closing moments of this game. But they have to get the goals first. A misguided pass there from Norwich City. They do keep the ball and deflect it off Joel Indala to grab themselves a throw-in here on the near-hand touchline, as things aren't necessarily going fully perfect for Hull City, so it is going to be another sip from the mug glass to try and bring some good luck. Norwich City just breaking away with it here. Schlupp in towards McLean. McLean over towards Fisher. Fisher down this right-hand side. Still charging forward. Slater just gets back, so he's having to force Fisher to think about elsewhere. It's still with him. He plays it over now towards Schwatteru. I'm definitely butchering his name. Number 29. There's always one player that I can't pronounce the name, and so they always get referred to as their number, and that is it. Number 29 for Norwich. Currently with Fisher. Bit of a 1-1 battle with Ryan Giles. Joel Indala chasing this one away. And Kyle Joseph really charging on that one to try and beat Shane Duffy there. Doesn't quite manage it, but like the work rate there from the young striker in this one for Hull City. Ball currently with Norwich's back line. Shane Duffy over towards McConville. McConville, the captain for Norwich City in this one. Forwards. Going over the head of McCammer. Looking for Josh Sargent. Charging over is John Egan. Egan in a little bit of a tussle here with Josh Sargent. Holds him off. And so forcing their Norwich City to go through to Matteson. Matteson lays it now over towards Schlupp on this left-hand side, right down at the byline. One-on-one with Louis Coyle. Lays it back now towards Darling. Darling over the top ball looking for McCammer. Headed away by Ryan Giles. Down towards Joel Indala now. Joel Indala down this left-hand side. He's got McCammer ahead of him. Tries to get it past him. McConville just lays it back now towards Shane Duffy there for Norwich City. Duffy over towards Darling. Darling infield towards Matson, back towards Shane Duffy. Hull City not really applying the pressure too much as I would like to have seen in this one. Certainly can kick it up a gear. Norwich City, though, certainly not looking like a very dominant side in this one. It's almost like Hull City are allowing them to play maybe a little bit more risque than what Norwich City are used to, as they are breaking away once again. Ball down to the byline. Looking to get infield. Schlupp inside of the box. Schlupp shoots. Oh, and that's off the crossbar. Norwich City come close once again. Schlupp with another effort. And that shot from inside of the area meets the crossbar and goes behind for a Hull City goal kick. If that's not the wake-up call for Hull City, I'm not sure what is. Norwich City are looking like they are trying to grab the goal in this one. The first goal, that being. And Hull City really need to hold out and try and apply more pressure, more attacking possibilities, and really wake up and get things going forwards. The chances are here for Hull City. They just can't let things slip away. 32 minutes in, 0-0 at Carrow Road. This is going to be a little break in play. Not 100% sure what for. Not sure if someone's... been a little bit of a shoe problem there with someone for Norwich City. So as he just redoes his shoe, it'll be Sergei Kirovic to give a few bit of inspiring words to the players on the field. Reshape tactics maybe a little bit. It's more about kicking up a gear in this one for Hull City. Oscar Schwarto. Right, thank you very much there, Peggy. Schwarto is number 29, the man who I couldn't pronounce. Afternoon, just logged on. I've been playing so far. We've been alright. Nothing spectacular. Really lacking the energy, I've got to say, in this one. But it's 0-0 away at Carrow Road. Nothing too bad. I mean, ball is kicked underway with Joel Ndala still with the ball in his bottle in his hand. So he'll just quickly chuck that off the field. As Norwich City try and kick forward towards Josh Sargent. Headed down by John Egan. And so Norwich City with the ball with Schlupp. Of course, the only man with a card in this one. Duffy. Forward towards McCammer. Back to Duffy. To Matson. To Duffy. Towards Darling. Forwards now for Norwich City looking for Josh Sargent. Ball just skips beyond him. And that'll be a Hull City goal kick once again. As I say, Josh Sargent certainly a player to watch out for in this one. 6 goal involvements for Norwich City so far this season. And it looks like he's trying to add to his tally every time he's on the ball. I can't justify 300 quid a year to watch it live. When I was a kid, it was free on TV, lol. I don't blame you in the slightest. But you're more than welcome here anytime that I'm live to watch the mighty Tigers. Ball forwards. Headed back now by Norwich City. So Luke Hall just let that one run out. And so he can take a throw-in front of the advertising boards over on that far hand touchline. A very similar place to where he's took quite a few throw-ins now. Just etching in front of that Hull City technical area. Ball goes down the line. Looking for Kyle Joseph. Headed more infield now. Joel Ndala does well to bite back on this one and get the ball back into his possession. Real resilience there from Joel Ndala. Lays it over towards Joe Geltart, whose ball back to Ndala doesn't quite pay off. Matt Crooks comes sliding through with a challenge to get the ball back towards Geltart. Over towards Ryan Giles now on this left-hand side. Could this be a bit of a promising attack shaping for Hull City? Matt Crooks towards Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Back forward towards Matt Crooks. Crooks out towards Coyle on this right-hand side. Coyle was looking to try and shape one into the area. Instead goes back towards Crooks. Back towards Amir, who's got a few options either side of him. He goes towards Egan over towards the far-hand side. Back towards Amir. Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Couple of players around him. Goes towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes back towards Ivo Panda. Once again, Norwich City line themselves up quite nicely to block any real passing lanes for Hull City in this one. So forces Ivo Panda to go over the top down the line towards Louis Coyle. Heads it towards Joe Geltart. Geltart back towards John Egan. Forwards now. Forwards once again. Oh, just snapped up behind Matt Crooks. No foul, says the referee, so Josh Sargent is able to charge away with this one. Still Josh Sargent shoots, blocked there by Charlie Hughes, and oh! Nearly chance there for Norwich City once again. How close can they get? Josh Sargent shoots. His shot is blocked by a sliding Charlie Hughes. It then breaks away for Schwarto. And that one just goes narrowly wide. Very narrowly wide. Schwarto there with another chance for Norwich City to grab themselves the lead in this one. Got to say, Norwich City have had the better opportunities in this one. 37 minutes in. And once again, it's Ivo Panda getting ready to take another goal kick. We haven't troubled Norwich City's keeper too much, if at all, in this one. Headed forwards, headed back, headed to and fro. Over the top, meets a foot there from City, going forwards looking for Kyle Joseph. Scooped backwards by Norwich City, which will go out of play. So Louis Carroll will have himself a throw-in inside of Norwich City's half. A couple of balls get chucked towards Louis Carroll. He'll instead go for the one that just got kicked out of play. Lays it towards Geltart, who play 1-2 with him. Ball back from Louis Carroll going forwards wasn't the best. And so Norwich City will charge away with McCammer on the counter-attack. McCammer got a couple of players around him. Will play out wide to the right. Fisher scoops one in. That one scoop all the way over Ivo Panda's head and go out for another goal kick. Bit of a wasted challenge there from McCammer. Fisher. McCammer was the man who broke away with the ball there for Norwich City. Really need to wake up a little bit going forwards here for Hull City. Really need to wake up. There has been no goal in this one. No goals yet. Still 0-0. Ball forwards from Ivo Panda. Headed. Out of play there by Kyle Joseph. I think it's going to go actually down as a foul of Kyle Joseph jumping up on the back of the Norwich City player. They'll play that free kick sideways over towards Shane Duffy. Duffy over towards Darling. Darling forwards now towards McLean. McLean to Schlupp on the left-hand side for Norwich City. Back now over towards Duffy in the defence. McConville cutting forwards infield towards McCammer. Slater and Hughes do well as a partnership to pick the ball back up in City's possession. Amir Hazayametrovic over towards Egan. Now with Coyle looking to shape a ball forwards. Another really dodgy passed ball there from Louis Coyle. He's had a few dodgy passes in this one. I'll be surprised to see his pass accuracy rating at the end of the game. A few dodgy passes in pivotal areas for Hull City so far in this one. Really lacking that awareness and wherewithal, where Norwich City are maybe looking a bit more like the more dominant side in this one. Ball breaks away there for Norwich City, but Hull City do well to get the ball back into their possession. Matt Crooks just taken down to the floor by a stray leg from Norwich City, and so it'll be a free kick here, just inside of the Hull City half. Matt Crooks there, the tree, just taken down. Grabs the free kick. No card awarded. Nothing too malicious in it. Just a bit of a dangling leg there from Matson from Norwich City. Ball played back from the free kick towards Egan. It's going to be with Amir. Amir and Crooks play a bit of a 1-2 as it goes back towards John Egan. Of course, John Egan, the Northern Ireland, the Irish international. Over towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes looking to go for one forwards, cross the field to look for Louis Coyle. It does so. Louis Coyle heads it down for Joe Geltart. Joe Geltart doesn't get the best of first touches, but it's okay because Regan Slater does well to pick up on the second ball that bounces away. Now back with Louis Coyle. Up forwards down the right-hand side. Infield towards Joe Geltart. Geltart just dispossessed once again, and the Norwich City player will go down to the decks and win himself a free kick there. Bit of sloppiness all over the field so far for Hull City. Coyle and Geltart being the most recent victims of it. Really need to wake up and go into that second gear, Hull City. Just coasting along a little bit too simply at the moment. Regan Slater trying to lead a bit of counter pressure here for Hull City, as Norwich will be passing along their back line. Ball upfield now for them. Volleyed away by Charlie Hughes, Still with Hull City's possession. A ball back from Matt Crooks to Joel Indala just gets underneath him, and so Norwich City were able to get underway. But Hull City win the ball back. Ryan Giles looking for a weird-shaped ball down the line, looking for Kyle Joseph. And Shane Duffy will just shield that one out of play and allow Norwich City to have a rare goal kick in this one. 42 minutes gone, still 0-0. I've got to say, Hull City have got to wake up in this second half if they want to grab the rare Carrow Road win. Of course, not won at Carrow Road in 15 years. There's the curse of Carrow Road for Hull City. Norwich City, a side that we do absolutely horrendously against. But for a side that haven't won in 8, have lost 5 on the bounce, you would be looking for Hull City to try and break that curse today. Ryan Giles just megs there from Fisher. McCammer keeps the ball in for Norwich City, sorry. McConville over towards McLean. McConville now with Matson for Norwich City. Matson and Duffy play a little... Darling, sorry, play a little 1-2 over towards McLean. Looking to try and maybe get a ball going forwards. There's a few players just on top of the Hull City back line. And one of them is Josh Sargent, who the ball just gets played to. McLean picks it up again. Schlupp in the area. That one's behind both Norwich City players inside of the box. And will sail all the way back towards McConville, who'll lay it off towards Fisher. Another chance wasted there for Norwich City, or was it? Ball into the box. Hacked away there by Amir Hazametrovic. Trying to get it back into the box now is Matson for Norwich City. As he's playing a few 1-2s with people. Gets the ball going down the left-hand side. In the box once again for Norwich City. Headed away by Charlie Hughes. Ryan Giles hooks onto it and clears it down the line. Running on is Kyle Joseph. Slater picks it up as the stray ball. Kyle Joseph charging away now. One-on-one with the keeper. Keeper comes out, sliding challenge. And it'll luckily fall to a Norwich City player there. Because if it fell to a Hull City player, they would have had an open goal to shoot at. As the Norwich City player, goalkeeper, comes out halfway into his half to come and slide and ensure that Kyle Joseph isn't in a one-on-one battle with him. A bit of back and forth there from Norwich and Hull. Ball does break away, and so Louis Curl will have a chance to get the play back into Hull City's possession with a throw-in. He's just going to go and take a little bit of time, allow people to have a little bit of a breather after a few intense, especially defensive minutes there for Hull City. Louis Curl just commanding a few players to make a little bit of space, and said go down the line now. Meets the head of Schlupp for Norwich City. Headed out of play there by Matson. So it'll be another free kick, this time in front of the Norwich City dugout. Nearly approaching the first 45 done. Presumably there'll just be the 1 minute, if anything, added on. The fourth official does have his board ready, so I presume there is going to be some additional minutes. And it will be just the one here at the end of this first half. So Norwich City have picked themselves up a throw-in deep inside of their own half. As they'll just allow their keeper to take it here. You're going to take time to waste it. Oh, it's going to be a free kick, sorry. A free kick deep inside their own half. Keeper going to take it. Going to waste a little bit of time here. As I'm sure Norwich City will be very, very happy to see themselves going into the half-time break level with the Tigers. Louis Cole looking for a rash one down the line. McCammer blocks it. And so instead Louis Cole will have himself a throw in here. Mere seconds left of this first half. And not been overly inspiring performance so far from Hull City. As the half-time whistle does blow. Few claps from the Norwich City fans. Maybe impressed with what they've seen. Certainly not a fully impressive standpoint from Hull City. I'm not sure why everyone's saying goal 1-0. There has been no goals so far. 1-0 to Hull. I do stand with that one, John. Hopefully that happens. Today, Hull City is a bad team. Wake up, Hull City. I wouldn't say they're completely bad. Just certainly need to wake up. There is certainly that lack of energy and lack of wherewithal by pretty much everyone, really. Joel Dahl's been putting a good performance in. Matt Crooks has, but even like the likes of Louis Kyle and Joe Geldhart, you can say, have been putting in a good performance. They've had some sloppy moments, which has led to a half-time team talk where Sergei Ikievich will be talking, wake up, Norwich City are looking like the better side in this one. Hull score currently 0-0, as I say, it's at the bottom of the screen. Always there, but 0-0 half-time in this one. Let's see what people are saying over on the social medias with this one. Is it half-time 0-0? Apologies, not my camera. Absolutely shocking. Should be 3-0 down. All we've done is hoof the ball, not try to create anything. I pretty much agree with that. We should be a couple of goals down. They've fluffed their chances a couple of times. A couple of Josh Sargent ones off the crossbar and narrowly wide from Schwarto. So yeah. That is the worst half of football all season. I maybe wouldn't go that far. No desire can string two passes together, letting players carry the ball unopposed for 30-40 yards. We look like the last game in a 3-game week, not the first. Very worrying. Need to be braver in the second half, certainly. Need to be braver. Awful half. Unfortunately for us, we look terrible. Let's hope it's a better second half. Yeah, certainly need to wake up. I think that's going to be my input coming into this one. Got another minute on the poll. If you think Hull City will win, let me know that. If you think Norwich City will win, let me know that. If you think it's going to be a draw, let me know that. The poll is going to be going down in a minute, and we'll see who is actually right come full time. Okay. So Hull City certainly need to wake up in the second half. I'm not sure if they had a bit of a busy Halloween evening and went out for maybe a party last night, but certainly need to wake up and shake it off moving into this second half. Simbane trolling, lol. If Norwich could actually take their chances, they'd be nowhere near the position they're in. Certainly. I mean, at the moment, they would be 3-0 up in this one, wouldn't they? If they took the chances. But so the way the cookie crumbles. Let's have a quick look at the scores elsewhere in the Championship, and then I'll take down that poll. So, Leicester City are actually losing 1-0 at home against Blackburn Rovers. And the other early kickoff, West Brom Sheffield Wednesday, that's 0-0 as well. So, not being goal frenzy so far in the Championship. Let me take down that poll now, as it looks like Hull City win is the winning favoured. 81 people voted and a 58% win for Hull City. So let's see if that does come to fruition and that we are actually going to see Hull City come away with their first win at Carrow Road in 15 years. Things aren't looking positive at the moment, but things can change on a dime, especially in the Championship. Hull City currently are actually in 6th place in the table. 1 point ahead of Charlton, who have been popped down to 7th. Of course, we are an early kick-off. Everyone else around us that can affect us are still yet to play. And they'll kick off at 3 o'clock today, so things can change as the day develops. A win is going to be best case scenario, isn't it? Let's be honest. But let's hope that things do shape up here differently in the second half and a bit more of a positive attribute, as things are looking certainly Norwich's favour. And if they were able to put their chances away, they would be a couple of goals up. And it's maybe bad to say that Hull City's best chance of the game actually came from the first second with that John Egan effort from kickoff. The kickoff shot from the centre circle. So, yeah. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Joel Indala. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Matt Crooks. Slater a bit, Amir a bit, but everyone's been having good moments and then not so good moments. Defensive lines looked alright. Is it maybe going to be an opportunity to try and maybe get Farrell Brown involved in this one? Add a bit of youth and a bit of throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. Farrell Brown, of course, had a very good pre-season with Hull City. If he comes into this one, would he maybe be the changing point, thinking that he's a young player, maybe not got the thing of, oh, I need to really play in a very organised manner, or would he just come in and just try and chuck everything at this game, chuck everything at his chance to try and cement himself into Sergei Kirvich's mind as a player for Hull City? Of course, you've got other players, Enis Destan, who can come on, provide a bit of an attacking change, but it'll probably be a last 15-minute cameo for him as his usual standpoint. David Akintola, would you really rely a pivotal moment to come from him? Who knows? So it's maybe going to be coming down to this team that's actually started this one to change things up in the second half in themselves, rather than getting support from elsewhere. We'll have a quick whip through the stats so far, but they're very heavy in the Canaries' favour, as things currently stand, with Norwich City having a lead in the possession stats. 54% for Norwich City, only 46% for Hull City. Shots on target, 1 for Norwich, none for Hull. The shots that being 7 for Norwich and only 3 for Hull City. Certainly that needs to change. Hull City, a side that getting a lot of shots away in championship games and haven't done so yet in this one. Fouls for a repeat, of course, the 1 yellow card for Norwich City. No red cards, 2 offsides for Hull City, all of them coming from Kyle Joseph. And then the 4 corners from Norwich, none from Hull City, which really cements into the fact that Hull City are not getting forwards enough in this one. They're not getting forwards, not providing enough attacking options going forwards. Can't wait to see Miller, Ballumi, McBurney, Geldhart in the same side. That would be an absolutely brilliant lineup. Getting Miller, Ballumi out on the wides, McBurney up top, and then Geldhart sitting behind McBurney. Now that forward 4 would be able to turn apart, I think, any team in the league, even a Coventry City, dare I say it. Whether that's the deluded side of me coming out or not, we'll see. But yeah, we'll see when we can get to that standpoint. Maybe by the end of the year, maybe before 2026 rolls on, we can have a forward lineup that consists of Miller, Ballumi, McBurney and Geldhart. Of course, McBurney currently out with a calf injury. It's expected that he could be involved next weekend or even midweek. We'll wait and see as things update for McBurney. Miller, of course, out until the end of November. Ballumi, it's presumably a similar time point for him. And of course, Geldhart, he's in the lineup today. He's doing all right. Just needs to wake up, but so does everyone on this Hull City team. Let's have another sip of good luck. There we go. Let's hope that produces something in this second half. Dear, oh dear. It kind of feels like we're coming into half-time after seeing that performance that Hull City are actually losing. Well, let's not forget, we're drawing. And as I always say, away games, if you come out with a point, that's a good result. Always try and grab at least something on the road. You can try and win the games all you want at home, and home is maybe the ground where you want to be winning the most games. It probably is. But going away on the road, to create a winning side, you're not looking to win away on the road. You're looking to draw at least, and if the wins happen, the wins happen. Of course, you're going to lose some games. That's how it happens. Nobody is going to go undefeated throughout the league. Not even Coventry City now, as they lost their first game last night. So nobody is actually undefeated in the league. Of course, Middlesbrough and Coventry both 1 loss apiece. Coventry currently leading the league in both goals scored and also points. That could get tied up today. Of course, Middlesbrough playing later on if they win. But the tension's more on Hull City, of course, facing off against Norwich City, which still are in the relegation zone. They're currently above both Sheffield sides. Currently above Sheffield United and then far above Sheffield Wednesday, of course, had that massive point deduction. They're currently on -5 points in the league. And they are currently drawing in their game against West Brom. But Norwich City currently 22nd due to goal difference against Sheffield United. But yeah, Norwich City lose, they go back to 23rd. If they win, they would stay in 22nd. But I mean, that bottom four of the Championship table, it's hilarious to look at. I say it's always too early to look at the Championship table, but it's still funny, isn't it? 21st Southampton, 22nd Norwich, 23rd Sheffield United, 24th Sheffield Wednesday. As a Hull City fan, you just can't help but sit in amazement. Meanwhile, you scroll up to the top of the table, Hull City are in 6th with a 0 goal difference. I didn't expect Wrexham to beat Coventry. I didn't. I was almost going to put a bet on for Coventry City to win, almost as in easy money. But Kiefer Moore with a hat-trick makes himself the third most goal scorer in the Championship with 7. Of course, behind both Brandon Thomas-Asante and Hadji Wright for Coventry City. Makes that Brandon Thomas-Asante deal that Hull City missed out on last summer almost a little bit more of a painful wound, but we won't shy away from the fact that Brandon Thomas-Asante did not want to come to Hull City. That was the reason why that deal fell through. Oh dear. Well, players are getting ready out on the field. That being the substitute players. One of them is Calvin Okeke. Got his bib on. And could he feature in this one? Who knows? Of course, it would be quite a rise for him. Because I'm sure getting named on the team sheet, even I had to look up who Calvin Okeke was. Fully. Of course, I heard about him playing a bit for the under-21s for Hull City recently. But he's actually a first-year scholar, under-18s level. And I'm not 100% sure on his age. We haven't... I tried to look everywhere for his age. I'll just try again. But I think he is actually quite young. So even go on Transfer Market and they don't have his age. But yeah, first year scholar. No one knows how old he is. Oh dear. But I mean, he's signed to the under-18s, so you can presume that he is relatively young. Scary young, some would say. But we'll see if he does get involved in this one. Of course, a defender. Left-footed defender. Left back by trait. Can play as a centre-half. He probably would be coming on to shore up a defence in this one. Nothing more, nothing less. But more so than that, I'd be looking for Hull City to really get a Pharrell Brown in this one. As I say, I think he might be the difference maker at some point in the second half if the attack is still dwindling as it is. Pharrell Brown coming on might be the spark plug. It's Pharrell Brown. Fantastic pre-season with Hull City. It was actually, I made a few videos where I said that he could possibly be starting games. Of course, the summer went as it did, and the start to Hull City season went as it did, and he hasn't really had too much of a look in. Don't think he's actually had any games this season for Hull City. But saying that, Hull City do return back out onto the field. I don't think there is any half-time changes in this one. Hopefully, the only change that has happened is that of a mental one for Hull City as they're trying to get back into a bit of a winning manner. 0-0 half-time. And really, really wanting to wake up in the second half. It actually might be a change. Semi Ajayi is stripped and he's on the sideline ready to come on. Who is he coming on in replacement of? Not 100% sure. Presumably a John Egan. But I'm not 100% sure why. Has there been an injury? Who knows? Have I got any word on the substitute? Why is Semi Ajayi coming on? City got chewed out in the changing room, presumably so. Let's just quickly see who Semi Ajayi is coming on in replacement of, and then I'll come to your comments before the ball does kick underway for the second half. I think the fourth official is trying to see. Number 20. Amir Hazaimetrovic off. And on comes Semi Ajayi. Very interesting. So 4 centre-halves on in this one. Are Hull City going to a back 5? Very interesting if they are. I'm very, very intrigued by it to see what Sergei Kivic is rolling out now for the second half. I thought Amir had quite a good first half, so maybe it is something to do with his injury that forced him to miss training earlier this week, and he maybe could only give Hull City 45 minutes or so. But Norwich City do kick underway. And as things lay out, it does seem that Hull City are going to go for a back 5. Just hacked down to the floor is Charlie Hughes. And so City win themselves a free kick. But Amir Hazaimetrovic off. Semi Ajayi on. And it's a back 5 for Hull City. Well, let's see and hope it works a bit better than it did last time out against Charlton Athletic, as maybe we didn't see the best stuff from Hull City. Breaking away is Schwarto for Norwich City. Blocked there by the back 5 of Hull City. So hopefully defence is a bit more sure-fired and Norwich City don't have as many chances going forwards. Schlupp just cuts it back there for McLean. McLean with the captain's armband on. Plays it over towards Darling. Darling to Duffy. And Duffy going forwards on the right-hand side towards Fisher. Cut away there by City. Charging forwards in some sort of aspect as Hull City. Currently with the Norwich City keeper. Just hold on to it for a bit. So yeah, back 5 lineup. Within the midfield, it's going to be Crooks and Slater. And then up top, of course, the front 3 hasn't changed any bit about. Joseph up top and then out wide and Darla and Geltart. But back 5, with seeming like one of the 3, Egan maybe, being able to push on a little bit as a bit more of a forward defender. Ball down the right-hand side. Coyle plays it towards Geltart. Geltart down the line. Plays one through towards Crooks. Crooks tries to get one in the area. Wins Hull City their first corner kick of the game. So maybe things are waking up here for Hull City. First corner kick of the game won by Matt Crooks, who's been quite good so far in this one. His run through the midfield and eventual getting the ball off of Geltart through that through ball results in a corner kick here. 47 minutes in, 2 minutes into this second half. Corner kick here for Hull City. Just in the shade is the ball. The goal's in the sun. Ball whipped in. Low driven. Just comes off of the feet of John Egan. And that one will go behind for a Norwich City corner kick. It's no goal. There has been no goals, everyone. No goals yet. Norwich City do have themselves a corner kick. So, forward here by Norwich City. A very looping effort. Headed forwards by the tree. Joe Geltart breaks away. Geltart into the area. Joe Geltart under the keeper, and it's Joe Geltart! Make it 4 in a row for Joe Geltart. Forward rolling celebration, and that's how you kickstart the second half. Hull City have woken up. They capitalise on the error from Norwich City and 1-0 up, trying to break the curse of Carrow Road with Joe Geltart. 1-0. There we go. That's your goal that everyone was hoping for. 1-0 to the Tigers. Joe Geltart once again capitalises on an error from Norwich City and sneaks it under past the defender and the keeper that were on him. Quite nicely done there to slot it away from the Leeds loanee. And a knee slide, roly-poly finish to get the celebration in there. And it's 1-0 Hull City. Joe Gelhardt, once again, this man is in form. He's in form. He's in top form. And panic descends a little bit onto the Norwich City bench as they send a few players down the sideline, getting ready and warmed up in a bit more of a hasty manner. Oh, breakaway. Joe Gelhardt trying to get a penalty there, maybe. Trying to capitalise on another error by Norwich City. He was tripped up, whether by himself or by the Norwich City player. We're not 100% sure. Ref said no foul. We'll just see this once again. He got the ball, and I think he more tripped over himself. Another error there by... He did so. Yeah, no foul there. But another error there from Norwich City. Are they now the error mongers around us? Have the roles changed in the second half? And are Hull City now the team on the front foot? It's seeming to be with a 1-0 lead. "40 minutes to go. 5 minutes into the second half. Ball down the line from Coyle. Gets headed back all the way to him. Forward now looking for Joe Lindala. Goes all the way through to Norwich's keeper and he'll bowl it underway to get Norwich going down that right-hand side. Fisher infield towards Matson, sorry. Over towards Darling. Darling in a bit of a battle with Joe Gelhardt. Gelhardt wins the battle, keeps the ball in play towards Coyle. Coyle infield now. Towards Slater. Slater on the ball. Tries to get it past Matson. Doesn't do so. And so Norwich City are breaking forwards now with Schwarto. Schwarto towards Sargent. McCammer, sorry. Back now with Josh Sargent. Shirt pulled a little bit by Charlie Hughes and the ref will blow it up for a foul. Free kick about halfway into the Hull City half there. Josh Sargent wins it from the shirt pulling of Hughes. Hull City not at the realms now where they are going to be holding on to keep the 1-0 win. But my fortunes are on. I said Gelhardt first scorer. 2-0 win for Hull City and Darling to grab the second. Could it happen? It very well could do. Certainly the first half has gone away to shame. But the second half started in good manner. Semi Ajayi's clearance from that free kick was really, really risque. And a backup clearance there from Hull City was what was needed. And so it is a corner kick now for Hull City. Matt Crooks there with the second clearance. As he's... He did really well to clean away Semi Ajayi's error there. So corner kick now for Norwich City. Of course, every set piece for them. 2 players standing over it. And it's going to be another shoddy effort, I feel. McLean into the box. Headed away by Charlie Hughes. Joe Lindala running onto it. Takes down Schlupp. And so another free kick in a bit of a similar position here for Norwich City. Joe Lindala just runs back in. A little bit of a handshake of appreciation there with Schlupp. Who was looking maybe a little bit for the foul, but can't blame it too much there. With Joe Lindala taking him out. So free kick coming in now for Norwich City, of course. 2 men standing over it. Ball whipped in. Over everyone's head. Duffy down in the box, holding his face. It's going to be a goal kick for Hull City. He's holding his nose or something, so I presume he got a little bang in the face. Yeah, Louis Cole, stray arm, just caught him in the face. But he's got to grow up. He's a big boy. Can't be whimpering over that all day long. Zivor Panda is ready to take the goal kick here. 1-0 Tigers. It's seeming like the sips from the mug glass are working, so I'll go with another one to try and keep the pressure on from Hull City. Forwards. Meets Joe Gelhardt. Meets Gelhardt again in a header. Takes it down, lays it over towards Coyle. Coyle crooks Gelhardt. Gelhardt just dispossessed on this near-hand side. And so it's going to be a throw-in now for Hull City. Louis Coyle to take. in possession now, McCammer. Geltart does well to win it back, and Joseph does well to come back as support and play it back into Hull City's favour. Poor touch there from Matt Crooks. Norwich don't capitalise enough on it, and their touch is resulting a poor one as well that plays it all the way back to Hull City. It's forwards now towards Geltart. Geltart lays it towards Louis Coyle. Coyle to Geltart. Took a touch off a Norwich City player, and that'll go out of play. Louis Coyle will take that throw in. A cheap one down the line to Matt Crooks, and Crooks' ball into the box is going to meet the Norwich City fans behind the goal rather than anyone inside of the box for Hull City. But some good stuff I'm seeing from the tree. Matt Crooks, let's not forget, he's got a torn pectoral muscle. He's needing surgery. He's still playing, and he's putting out a good performance that we've seen so far in this one. Got the assist for Hull City's opening goal, and has probably been the best player on the field so far. So when we roll out our man of the match vote in the chat, our poll in the chat later on, let's see if Matt Crooks does win our man of the match award here on the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel. 5 losses in a row says different. It certainly does. On track to try and make it 6 now for Hull City, as Hull City make it 6 undefeated. 4 wins, 2 draws in that period. But still got to do the work here. 35 minutes remain at this one at Carrow Road. A place where Hull City haven't won a game since 2010. Over 15 years. And Joel Indala, another foul there. Just got to watch it a little bit. He's not been cautioned yet, but could be en route to do so in what is his first start in over 2 months. And his last time starting was a very poor game for Hull City, where they lost 4-2 on the road at Bristol City. This one turning a different essence. Matt Crooks does brilliant sliding challenge over towards Joe Geltart. Geltart in the area, shoots, blocks, and that's going to dribble to go behind for yet another goal kick, corner kick here for Hull City. Brilliantly done once again from Matt Crooks. Sliding challenge to get the ball away from McLean. Lays off Joe Geltart once again. And Geltart was looking to try and make it 2. He cuts back onto his right foot, which allows Darling to get positioned nicely in front of him and block his shot on goal. But corner kick, which Geltart will stand over. Very nicely done once again there from City. Corner kick taken short to Giles. Giles whips it into the box. Headed behind once again by Norwich City, so it'll be another corner kick, this time on the opposite side of the field. Or offside, actually. Apologies about that, bit of confusion. I saw the ref's arm up, waving out for towards the corner, but I think his arm was up for offside. So the goal kick takes, the goalkeeper takes the offside free kick very quickly. But Hull City position themselves well to stop any counter-attack taking place from Norwich City. As ball is forwards, McCammer gets taken down, or dispossessed actually, by Charlie Hughes. And that one will go out for a throw-in on the far-hand touchline. Pretty deep inside of Hull City's half. And it will be McConville to take it. Looking like it's going to be a long throw here from the number 15 for Norwich. All the way back at the advertising boards. Long throw into the box. Headed away by a diving Kyle Joseph, who just got a shove in the back. And so will win the free kick there for Hull City. Shove in the back is a big no-no in the Championship. We all know that, unless it suits the ref to not blow up the foul, which we have seen time and time again. But that time, Hull City do win the foul there. There was a good header nonetheless there from Kyle Joseph, who did get the shove in the back as well. Just down on the decks a little bit. And he might have a little bit of cramp in his leg. Just holding on to his foot a little bit. As he just comes back up to his feet. With Shane Duffy, the man who took him down. But still good for Kyle Joseph to get the header away. Crooks has been a brilliant signing. He certainly has been a very pivotal player into the midfield, and I fear that we are going to miss him for the 2 months. But I think Hull City are laying it out quite nicely, where they're going to probably wait until John Lundstrom is back before they take Matt Crooks out for that 2 months where he needs his surgery on his torn pectoral muscle. So that you're kind of replacing what Matt Crooks does with John Lundstrom. So you're not missing too much in that midfield. And I think that's quite smartly done by Hull City. And of course, we do have a returning Elliot Matazo to feature hopefully towards the back end of the year, maybe towards the start of 2026. Ball forwards by Hull City, headed away by Schlupp for Norwich City. Charlie Hughes picks the ball back up in possession and lays it over towards Ivor Panda. 30 minutes to go at Carrow Road. 1-0 up for the Tigers. All thanks to Joe Geldhart's effort sneaking it past Darling and also the Norwich City keeper. To make it 4 goals in 4 games for the Leeds loanee, who's been on unbelievable form. Really, since Ollie McBurney went down injured. He's taken over the reins. And John Egan there with a sliding tackle takes it away from McCammer. Lays it over towards Ivor Panda. Panda hoofs it forwards. Finds the man of the hour, Joe Geldhart, who's just taken down. Ball dispossessed. And going forwards now for Norwich City. Fisher just pulled down. Advantage plays. Josh Sargent in the area. Sargent still on it. McCammer now. Many bodies back for Hull City. Shot. Blocked. Back away there for Norwich City. Schwarto over towards Schlupp. Schlupp one-on-one with Geldhart. Breaks down past the line. And it'll force Louis Cole to send the ball out for a Norwich throw-in on this near-hand touch line. Certainly this back five is seeming to work now for Hull City. Both getting forwards using our fullbacks as the wing-backs, but also helping the defensive attributes, which is something that was maybe a bit risque in that first half. So this is the point where I can see the change-up actually working. And of course, the more and more Hull City do play with that backup or do change things around, the better they are going to get. Ball whipped into the box. Caught high there by Ivor Panda to stop anything there breaking for Norwich City. But yeah, very good tactical wherewithal it's seeming so far from Sergei Akievich, who has done expertly coming into the job as Hull City manager at the start of the season. His 13th league game in charge of the Tigers. And Hull City are looking like a very, very good team this season. There's been no second goal yet, don't worry. As I say, scores on the screen. And of course, I would be reacting if a second goal did come in for Hull City. The ball is back instead with Norwich's keeper. Forwards he goes. Towards McConville to Fisher. Fisher dancing around a little bit there with Ryan Giles. And we'll take the deflection off him out for a throw-in. Which McConville will take over towards Matson. Matson forward down the line looking for McCammer. Towards Fisher. Infield towards McLean. McLean forwards. Past Crooks. Sargent gets it over towards Matson, sorry. I don't know why I keep on saying Matzo. Oh dear. Anyway, the ball ends up out of play. McLean does take the throw in. Matson is the man he plays the 1-2 with. McLean into the area. And that's going to sail past everyone and go out for a throw in there for, goal kick there for Ivor Panda and Hull City to take. Blackburn Rovers have just gone 2-0 up against Leicester City. Nice to see that there. As Norwich City have a few players down on the touchline, trying to get ready to come on and make a bit of an impact in this one. And I'm sure Hull City will be looking to do the same, maybe not as panicked to make the substitutes as they were earlier on. Of course, with that 1-goal lead at the moment. Would be nice to see it grow to a 2-goal lead, get that cushion. But Crooks does foul the Norwich City player. More of a fall to the floor by the Norwich man as he just walks into the tree that is Matt Crooks. But the ref blows for the foul nonetheless. So Norwich City are going to look to pass it between their defensive line, try and look for a way to break through past Hull City, who are still sticking with this 5-2-3 lineup. And ball there with Josh Sargent, lays it over towards McLean. McLean over towards Duffy. Duffy back towards McLean. McLean forwards, Sargent down. It's alright because Egan's just dispossessed him. Then Egan going forwards goes down to the deck. But it's alright because Norwich City dispossessed him. And the ref's just going to blow there. It seems like the Norwich City player who went down, Josh Sargent, has got a bit of a problem with his ankle. And so there'll be a pause in play. I'm not sure completely what he's done to his ankle, because actually John Egan didn't touch that ankle. So I'm not 100% sure what's happened. He's up to his feet. So maybe he just wanted the break in play. Who knows? Do you think there'll be much business in January? Well, we are being told that there is certainly going to be one very good loan deal in January, whether that is a Fabio Carvalho returning to Hull City as he's looking to leave Brentford either on a permanent or a loan deal this January. Whether it could be someone else, who knows? There's a few options, and of course we will talk about that more as we break into December and we look to the January transfer window. But of course, still under the embargo and not able to sign anyone. Shot there from Schwarto, right down at the knees of Ivor Panda. And of course, with us not able to actually do any permanent deals, it could possibly be a case of Hull City taking advantage of that loan market. So I don't think there'll be too much business in the January compared to previous years for Hull City, of course, with that limitation. But I certainly think there'll be a few additions. Loans is the main area, because of course if it's free transfers, Hull City can do that at any point throughout the season. So loan deals is what we're looking at, and it maybe is going to be just the one or the two deals. Fabio Carvalho would be the prize piece, I suspect. Of course, depends on where Hull City are at that point. A lot of football to be played between now and the January transfer window, as Matt Crooks is just taken down to the decks. And so Hull City have themselves a free kick just inside of the Norwich half. McCammer once again just diving on top of him. And so Hull City 1-0 up. As I say, wanting to look to extend that lead to 2. If last Saturday taught us anything, 1 goal lead can be very risky. All it takes is one chance, even in the 91st minute, for a team to come back and level up. Off the top of your head, is there any free agents you'd like to see? I'm not sure on free agent wise. I mean, areas where the squad could maybe look to improve. Maybe you'd be looking at a midfielder, but if that's like the likes of Fabio Carvalho coming in to do that, then that sort of shows up that area. I think defence we're looking all right, because you've got the options within the squad, but then you've also got a few younger lads in the academy, like we've talked about. They're on the bench in this one, so maybe the areas where you'd be looking for Hull City to add would be into that midfield. So I don't think Hull City actually need to add too many players this January. So it probably is just going to be maybe 1-2 loan deals, and both of them probably being midfielders. As Josh Sargent now just outside of the area for Norwich. Lays it over towards Schlupp. Schlupp back towards McLean. McLean forwards towards Schwarto. Back towards McLean. Out wide towards Schlupp. Schlupp lays it back towards McLean in the area. Into the box. And just taken down is McCammer. No foul, says the referee. So the ball skips all the way past to the other side. Matson now with Norwich City. Whips one into the area. Punched away by Ivor Panda. Only as far as McLean on his left-hand side. He's going to scoop one back in. Blocked by Louis Coyle. And that's going to go out there for a throw-in for Norwich City. Very deep down towards the byline on the near-hand side. And Schlupp will take the throw-in. So some good defensive attributes there from Hull City. Coyle does well to block a few times. Panda does well to get a good diving punch away. And it is going to be, instead, Darling to take the long throw on this near-hand side. About 3 or 4 players in the box at the moment for Norwich City. Almost everyone back for Hull City. A lot of blue shirts. Of course, that blue third kit. The one that looks like a Wetherspoon's dinner plate. In the box. Headed away by Hull City. Cleared again by Joel Indala. Out for a throw-in. And it might be another long-ranged effort from Darling. And Darla does well to clean the effort away there. Couple of subs ready for Norwich City. As they would be looking to come back into this one. Thrown in long. Clean away. Trying to get back in there from Fisher. Cleared away by Hull City once again. And it's gone all the way back towards Norwich's keeper. Who's going to try and get things going forwards with Maatson. Over towards McLean. McLean charging forwards. Still going forwards. It's McConville. Maatson now for Norwich. Over towards Shane Duffy. Hull City lined up quite nicely at the moment. In the box. And McCammer, his shot, well, that's off balance and off target. So I think it's now going to be time for the changes. It will be a change for Hull City coming up. But first of all, it's the 2 changes for Norwich City. As my prediction of Joel Indala scoring in this one will not happen. As Darko Jabi, he's going to come on for Joel Indala. So Joel Indala, 70 minutes in this one. That's a very good outing from him. And I was quite impressed by what I've seen from him in this one, to be fair. First time in the starting lineup since the 30th of September. And a positive performance from him as he's replaced by Darko Gyabi. Who comes on presumably to play out on the wing maybe? I think he would come on to replace pretty much the role that Joel Indala was doing. It's going to fall now to Darko. He heads it forwards to Joe Geldhart, who does a bit of a weird effort to try and shoot it on a bit of a half volley. And that one's gone heavily wide, and everyone in the stadium knew that wasn't going to go into the back of the net. But good there from Darko. His first touch of the game is a header forwards, which kind of breaks through Joe Geldhart. So, good introduction there for the young midfielder. Giles down the line looking for Darko now. He's going to try and cut it forwards for Kyle Joseph. He'll be probably the next one off the field to be replaced by Enis Destan, presumably with 15 to 10 minutes to go in this game. Seems to be the usual shtick for Enis Destan in a Tigers shirt. Kyle Joseph just taken down to the decks. He did try to scramble, try and get the ball back into his possession. Didn't work. And so ball forward with Josh Sargent. Counter-attack breaking now for Norwich. Schlupp towards Sargent in the area. He tries to cut it back towards McLean. Blocked there by Slater. Slater over towards Geldhart. Geldhart does a nice little cut back to get it past Josh Sargent. And forwards and charging on this one is Kyle Joseph. Joseph, of course, looking for a goal. Joseph, he's broken away past Duffy. Shoots, blocked by the keeper. When will Kyle Joseph get some goal scores in him? Every game he has a chance, and that was his chance that was squandered. Ball falls to him as Shane Duffy goes down to the decks. And all he had to do was just get it past the keeper. 1-on-1 scenario. And it doesn't happen. And it's Norwich City now breaking forwards. Every game, I swear, Kyle Joseph has a chance. Headed there by McCammer. And it goes behind there for a goal kick. Every game, Kyle Joseph has a chance. So close. And I feel bad for him every time. Feel bad from every time. Just wants a goal. That's all he wants. He's had a few. Well, I think maybe 1 or 2. Oh dear. One goal, guys. It is one goal. Matt Crooks picks up a yellow card. Not sure fully for what. But he's on a yellow card now. Goal kick from Evil Panda sails over a jumping Joe Geltart. So it goes out and Darling will take a throw in on this near hand side. 15 minutes remain in this one. So we could see Enes Destan come in at any point now. Headed by Semi Ajayi towards Darko. Down by Matt Crooks. Crooks controls it, lays it through towards Kyle Joseph. Joseph charging backwards. His pass is a bit wild and ends up with McCammer. Forward to Josh Sargent, blocked by Charlie Hughes. Hughes coming forwards, lays it over towards Matt Crooks. Crooks back towards Kyle. Crooks and Kyle play a 1-2 as they get it over towards Slater. Slater plays a 1-2 with Matt Crooks. Semi Ajayi, he's not going to play 1-2 with Matt Crooks. He's instead going to go back to Ivor Panda. Panda towards Egan. Egan in space, moves forwards and lays it over towards Charlie Hughes, who'll play it back towards Ivor Panda. So 15 minutes remain in this one. 1-0 City still at Carrow Road, looking to break that curse of Carrow Road. Glancing header there from Joe Geltart for Hull City gives Norwich a throw-in. As Hull City look to try and go 6 games unbeaten with their first win in 15 years away at Norwich. Geltart takes the ball down, lays it over towards Kyle. Kyle forwards, looks for Kyle Joseph. Norwich's keeper comes out well to come and smother that one. And he's just going to lay it down to himself. Kyle Joseph comes in charging on that one. Claims for handball on the goalkeeper for Norwich, who was outside of his area, blocked that one with his body. No, says the referee. So Norwich will get going forwards. Good challenge that, though, from Hull City. Norwich's keeper has to put the ball down due to that 6-second rule, not wanting to concede a corner. And Kyle Joseph does well to charge in quickly and bring it up. It did come up and bounce off his hand. So, not sure on that one. It was in a bit of alignment with his body, but you could say that it wasn't as well. So, we'll take the ref's word for it. Seems the whole bench were just asking the fourth official fully on how that wasn't given as a free kick. But it wasn't. And it's now with Norwich's keeper, who's playing outside of his area quite often in these past couple of minutes. Ball forwards. Scoops past Semi Ajayi, but Louis Carroll hoofs it forwards for Hull City. Headed there by Darling, only as far as Darko. Darko takes it down. Bit of a dodgy touch forwards. Gives it back into Norwich's possession. Darko Gaiaby comes through and trying to get the ball back for the Tigers, but it's still with Norwich here. A few scrambly passes around the field, and Norwich are just dispossessed there by Kyle Joseph. Joseph forwards towards Matt Crooks. Crooks in the area, lays off Geltart. Geltart taken down, and surely that's a penalty there. Surely it is. Joe Geltart taken down once again in the area, and there's going to be a yellow card for Kyle Joseph, presumably for talking to the ref saying, how is that not a penalty? Watch the replay. Matt Crooks in the area, lays off Joe Geltart, who just has his legs wiped out from underneath him and holding his head a little bit. But all seems good with Joe Geltart. Kyle Joseph's the one who gets the yellow card there. Louis Carroll into the near hand side, down towards the byline, into the area. No one there in a City shirt, so it falls to Regan Slater. Over towards Giles. Haven't seen an awful lot of Giles in attacking mindset in this one. But his defensively, he's been quite good in this game. Of course, now at the back 5, maybe going to give that opportunity to allow him to explore going down the left-hand side a bit more. Matt Crooks just tries to dispossess Schlupp for Norwich City. Instead gives them a free kick. And Norwich will have another 2 changes to make. As Fisher is going to come off. And he's going to be replaced by Mundell Smith, number 46 for Norwich. And the other change, McCammett is also going to come off, and he's going to be replaced by number 18 for Norwich, Forson. So another double change now for Norwich, as hopefully Hull City can grab that extra goal that they need, that bit of cushion. 11 minutes to go in this one. Throw-in goes forwards. Taken down by Forson, so he wins a free kick in his first bit of involvement in this game. And it will be McLean to take the free kick. Pretty much everyone forwards bar the keeper now for Norwich. So forcing everyone back there for Hull City. Free kick inside of Hull City's half. McLean takes it. Forwards, headed towards goal. Blocked off the line by Louis Coyle. And it's okay because it was offside anyway by Josh Sargent. Nicely done there from City to block it nonetheless. The block from Louis Coyle and the clear away by Kyle Joseph. But it's okay because Josh Sargent was offside anyway. 10 minutes to go at Carrow Road. Hull City still searching for their first win at Carrow Road since 2010. Joseph needs to be sold, can't stand him. He's the only player I can't stand since Malik Wilks. He's just not good enough. Oh dear. Since Malik Wilks, wow. Well, Joseph does get a glancing header forwards looking for Geltart. It's going to find Darling instead. He'll send it back towards Norwich's keeper. Crooks looks for a header. Sends it on towards Louis Coyle. Coyle coming down towards this byline. Plays it infield towards Joseph. Joseph now will go down to the byline into the area looking for Darko. Goes past them and ends up with Morgan Smith for Norwich. Coming in towards the box once again. That one's going to be behind. And Norwich City will have themselves a goal kick here with 9 minutes to remain at Carrow Road. We'll see how things shake out to go. Born in Hull but a Norwich City fan. Miss Hull and Patty and Chips especially. Oh dear. You've gone the wrong way then. Can't miss the Patty, Chips and Chip Spice. Oh, and a bit of a reckless challenge there from Norwich City. Free kick given for Hull City. Maybe a yellow card there for Josh Sargent. As ball goes forwards for Norwich City. And it's not Josh Sargent, it's Morgan Smith who just puts a dangling leg out and John Egan goes down to the decks. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hull City, it's looking like are getting ready to make 2 more changes. Whether John Egan coming off is going to be one of them, we'll wait and see. But the 2 changes for Hull City are gonna wait. It looks like Cody Drammer is going to be one of them. I can't quite make out who the other one is. Probably Enes Destan, but we'll wait and see. Free kick will be taken from Hull City first. Forward, and that's going to go all the way back for a Norwich goal kick. Bit of a shoddy effort there from Hull City. But Norwich with the goal kick. As their keeper's going to try and get things going now. Nearly 7 minutes remain in this one. 1-0 to the Tigers. Glancing header forward for Norwich, blocked by Semi Ajay, over towards Louis Coyle. Coyle going forward, looking for Kyle Joseph. Joseph running onto it. It's got it. Joseph lays off Joe Geltart. Doesn't quite happen. And Schlupp will steer that one behind for a Hull City corner kick. Double change coming up now for Hull City, hopefully. Or they may wait for the corner kick to happen first and then take it. I think they're going to do the double change now. They are. So yeah, it's Cody Drammer and Destan coming on. Destan's coming on for Kyle Joseph as we suspected. Getting him his cameo at the end of the game as he's usually getting. And maybe it is time for Enes Destan to grab his first goal in the Hull City kit. I was going to say the black and amber stripes, but we're in the third kit today. And Joe Geltart's going to be the other one coming off. He's going to be replaced by Cody Drammer, who presumably go and play up on that right wing and come and provide a bit more defensive sureness as well there. But some good changes there for Hull City. Corner now coming in for Hull City. Into the box. Glancing past quite a few people. Half cleared away by Norwich. Regan Slater comes out to pick up the ball and lets that one dribble out of play for a throw-in. And so Slater will just wait for Giles to run over to the ball. Referee just tell him to speed up. He can run as quick as he likes. 6 minutes remain. Ryan Giles to throw in. Infield. Norwich do dispossess Hull City there. And it's alright because Regan Slater dispossesses them. A bit of a tussle there, but it does end up with Matt Crooks. Crooks still on the field, of course. Torn pectoral muscle. He's been man of the match so far. And we will quickly ask you in the comments, who's been your man of the match in the game so far? For me, I say it's been Matt Crooks. Could be Joe Geltart. Could be a Charlie Hughes. Could be anyone within this squad, really. First half lacklustre, second half seeming to be a bit better. Ball with Matt Crooks. Let me know in the comments who your man of the match is so far. Louis Coyle tries to get one in the area. Blocked by Duffy. Goes out for a corner kick. Louis Coyle claiming things. It might have been a handball. We'll see the replay here. It's one of them where his hand comes in a little bit like that. I don't think it's fully claims for a handball. You can see it given. You can see it not. It's a corner kick nonetheless for Hull City here. Giles to take it. Four minutes to go. Hull City searching to break the curse of Carrow Road. Deep. That's going to sail over everyone and go out for a goal kick. Sorry. Good Hull. Wish you all the best. Greetings from Colombia. Thank you very much, Colombia, for joining in. Go Tigers. Another win is coming. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Thumbs up, everyone. Let's hope that Hull City can see out this game. As I say, 4 minutes to go in this one. Throw in there from Norwich forward towards Josh Sargent. He lays it over looking for Morgan Smith. It's going to be picked up by Ryan Giles. Giles charging down this left-hand side. Lays it over for Darko Gyabi. Darko taken down, but it's going to be a throw-in for Norwich City. As they're going to try and get things going a bit more quickly here. They've got very little time to try and end their 5-game losing streak. A goal from Hull City here would be brilliant. Matt Crooks over the top towards Enis Destan. Destan lays off Drama. Drama towards Enis Destan. And it's Darko Gyabi. Darko Gyabi again! He's in the back of the net. And that's the second goal. And that surely is game, set and match. Darko Gyabi with what I believe is his first goal for Hull City. And he celebrates in a sleepy manner there. And it's 2-0 to Hull City. Darko Gyabi tries once. It's blocked. Tries again. And it's in the back of the net. And surely that 6 games undefeated streak for Hull City is going to continue. And it is going to be 6-game losing streak for Norwich City will continue. Mere minutes remain. And Darko Gyabi puts Hull City 2-0 up. Their lead is doubled through number 24. There we go. Goal from Darko Gyabi with his first goal for Hull City. And I predicted Hull City's left winger to score. I thought it was going to be Joel Ndala. It wasn't. It was Darko Gyabi. So Norwich City, air sucked out of them. 2 minutes remain. And they're 2-0 down. So all Hull City have to do now, hold on for the clean sheet. And my prediction is pretty much nailed on. 2-0 Hull City win is what I predicted yesterday. Joe Geltart grabbing the first goal. What I predicted yesterday. I'm sure quite a few of you in the chat are hoping there's another Hull City goal to come, as I saw a few 3-0 predictions earlier on in the stream. And it's seeming like our poll vote in the chat in the first half for a Hull City win is going to come to fruition. After a really abysmal first half, Hull City turned things around. Early goal in the second half and a late goal as well in the second half. And they are leading 2-0 through Geltart and Darko Gayabi. Maybe looking for another one here. Enis Destan. Ball just goes out of play, so Norwich will have themselves a throw-in. Taken towards Duffy. Duffy charging forwards now. Hull City just got to hold on for these mere minutes that remain. 1 minute plus probably about 2 minutes, I'm going to say, of additional time. As Norwich are going to pass the ball around looking for opportunities. All Hull City have to do is hold their shape, hold out for this one, and hope that they can see themselves grab the win. And the clean sheet win as well is all important. As I said, a win is brilliant at Carrow Road. Not done so. Oh, shot there! Blocked by Ivor Panda. As I said, a win at Carrow Road is brilliant for Hull City. Not done since 2010. A clean sheet win is all the better for. We'll see how much time is added on here at Carrow Road. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes still to be played at Carrow Road. Anything really could happen now. Hull City in possession. Going forwards, looking for Enis Destan. Bit of a dodgy ball forwards. Norwich will have the throw-in. They play it back towards their keeper. They've got 5 minutes worth of hope here, Norwich City fans do. Stadium is half clearing already. I think they know how this one's going to play out for these remaining 5 minutes. Ball forwards for Norwich City. Taken down. Blocked forward by Ryan Giles. Destan back towards Darko. Infield looking for Cody Drama. The pass goes a bit awry and Louis Cole's forced to make a bit of a sliding challenge to play it over towards Darling for Norwich. McLean coming forwards now for the Canaries. Schlupp just taken out by Semi Ajayi, and that's going to be a free kick halfway inside of the Hull City half for Norwich City. 4 minutes remain at Carrow Road. We really are the dark horses this season. We certainly are. Wow, alive, Samuel. How lucky indeed. Hull City up 2-0. Do you know about Geltart's situation? How can we get him permanently with the financial block and everything? Is it possible? Well, he's on loan for the entire season. And then at the summer transfer window, so summer 2026, our embargo restriction thing actually is lifted. So it's only in place up until the summer. So we would be able to actually grab him on a permanent in the summer from Leeds. Ball whipped in from this corner. Jumped up high and Ivor Panda saves. So yeah, we would be able to actually grab Joe Geltart on a permanent. And it's looking like that may be the possible, most likely case. He's looking like he's enjoying it at Hull City. And he's in good form at the moment. 4 goals in the past 4 games for him. So I think that might be one of the deals that Hull City will be looking to do in the summer. Of course, wherever Hull City may be then. They could be up in the heights of the Premier League. They could be looking to be a serious contender in the Championship next season. Currently, we're enjoying good Hull City football as they look to try and extend their undefeated streak to 6 games with 4 wins in that spell and 2 draws. Norwich City trying to put an end to their 5-game losing streak. That's not looking to happen here with 2 minutes and change remaining. Hull City holding on to try and grab this clean sheet. They've been few and far between for Hull City this season. But an away win and a clean sheet at Carrow Road. Well, did you have that on your bingo card coming into this season? Because I certainly didn't. Leeds hopefully don't overprice Geltart. I doubt they would do. He's not in their plan. We know what Geltart's worth. And he really wants to come here on a permanent, it's seeming. So I don't think it would be an overpayment. Welcoming everyone to the stream. Welcoming to joining us in for the final few minutes of this away clash at Carrow Road. Hull City are on the route to win their first game away at Norwich since September of 2010. That's over 15 years for you who can't do maths. And things are looking positive. Goal from Geltart and Darko Gayabi at either end of the second half have been the deciding factors. A poor first half, but we'll overlook that considering Hull City are currently 2-0 up. Ivo Panda's going to take his time with this goal kick. 1 minute remains. Panda goes long. Meets the head of Drama. Darko chasing this one down. It's going to be laid back towards Norwich's goalkeeper. Hooked forwards. Taken down. Looking to try and get it to Enis Destan, but doesn't quite happen. So Norwich still in possession. 30 seconds remain at Carrow Road. Can Hull City hold out? Grab the 2-0 clean sheet win. Into the box. Blocked by Semi Ajayi. Blocked again away by Charlie Hughes. Cleared by Ryan Giles. Only as far as Duffy. Duffy to Darling. Darling moving forwards now. Mere seconds remain at Carrow Road. Can Hull City hold out for this 2-0 win? Got everything crossed. Can't look away now. McLean charging forward. Still McLean charging forward. Shoots. Blocked by Semi Ajayi. Probably the biggest block of the game for Semi Ajayi. Right at the death of it. And the full-time whistle is blown. It's a 2-0 win for Hull City. Their first win at Carrow Road since September of 2010. And Hull City are having a party down in Norwich. Nicknamed the longest away day of the season for Hull City. And the 750 strong Tiger faithful in the away end will be enjoying that one. Goals from Geldhart and Darko Gayabi are the reason why Hull City are the victors in this one. And why they are in the playoff places. We'll quickly whip over to the table, but let's have a see what we're all saying in the chat. Hull seem to be building a nice bit of momentum. They certainly do, Paul. What a time to be a Tigers fan. What a time indeed. Hull go Premier. Hopefully they do. Get in there. 5th place for us. It is 5th place for the Tigers. Missing out on 4th place due to goal difference. But 5th place, of course, teams to play around us. That could change as the day expands. May I ask, please do a stream for every match. I try and do a stream for every away match, and then I get vlogs for the home matches that I can attend to. But there's always reaction videos, vlogs, predictions, everything on the channel, so you're not going to miss out on any content here. Don't we have the best form in the league now? Possibly, with Coventry just losing, I think we would do. I mean, past 5, we're the only team that are in the past 5, or past 6, I should say, that haven't lost. So we've got the longest unbeaten streak in the league at the moment. So form-wise, we're good. So, yeah, 5th place Tigers at the moment. Leicester City 2-0 down. West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday, that's 0-0. And Norwich back down to 23rd in the Championship table. I was wrong by 1. I was right by bang on. There we go. We're the only unbeaten team in the last 6. We certainly are. And it's fantastic to see. We'll have a quick look at the scores for the other games in the Championship. Of course, last night, Wrexham shock win against Coventry City. I mean, Norwich City's... everyone in the stadium's looking shocked and expecting their manager to be fired. But Hull City in a bit of a party here. Norwich City, of course, losing 2-0 to Hull City. Blackburn Rovers win 2-0 away at Leicester City. And when West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday, that ends 0-0. Of course, all culminating in Hull City being 5th in the Championship table. Fantastic stuff. Hopefully Bradford win. Well, let's see if that happens for you there, Thean. Hopefully Hull City do keep this momentum going. Of course, we do face off against Derby County away Tuesday night. We'll see how that one shakes out for the Tigers. And then to finish out the 3-game match week, we are at home to, I believe, Ipswich. Are we home to Ipswich? Home to Portsmouth, sorry. The week today. Another 12:30 kickoff. Norwich City fans singing their disdain. But Hull City players, Hull City fans, enjoying their first win at Carrow Road in over 15 years. What a time to be a Hull City fan. What a time indeed. Sergei Kirovic has brought the joy back to the Hull City. And things are... I can't get the smile off my face, we'll say. Cannot get the smile off my face. Let's go indeed. Hit that button for our boy. Thank you very much. Mexico Rolls, always pleasure to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying the 2-0 win. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, the 2-0 win for the Tigers. Up to 5th in the championship table. Who needs Ollie McBurney when you've got an informed Joe Geldhart? Who needs Liam Miller when you've got a Darko Gyabi that can come off the bench? And you just think about how good this team will be. Someone said it earlier on in the chat. How good will this team be when you've got Miller, Balumi, McBurney, Geldhart all in the same starting lineup? That front four will be a nuisance for opposition defences. But without them, Hull City are seeming to do quite nicely so far. Geldhart, 4-4 for his goals. And Hull City are unbeaten in the last 6. It's a brilliant time to be alive. It's a brilliant time to be a City fan. Let's hope this season keeps them rolling in the right direction. Thanks to everyone who's joined in the chat, joined into the live stream, joined and watched, chatted, whatever. A very long trip away from for the Hull City fans, but with a smile on their face nonetheless. I will have my reaction video out within the next hour or so stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to see that. Plenty more Hull City news and content. Of course, it's a 3-day match week, a 3-game match week, so stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing. See all of that, and hopefully we are going to be celebrating a longer unbeaten streak than what we are at the moment, and Hull City do hold on to their good momentum as the week rolls on. But I will see you, hopefully, in my reaction video in an hour, certainly at some point on the channel. So thanks to everyone who's joined in, and I will see you very shortly. Up the Tigers! Go on!